Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Blue if you're new here, and today I am headed off to London for a couple of days, and I thought it would be an interesting video idea to document, excuse me, while I'm out of my own house and comfort zone, to document the waste that happens that I'm going to be consuming, and figuring out ways to make less waste on the go. I don't have an idea of what that's going to look like. I just thought that I would document along the way the waste that I come across, because it's really easy to reduce waste and live more zero waste when you're at home and you have your own comforts, you have your own routine. I have a zero waste shop that I know is there that I go to. I know what they stock. I have my jars at home that I can fill up, and I know my routine in order to reduce waste as much as possible. But when I'm out of my zone and out of my home, it's going to be more of a challenge, because I don't know what I'm going to come across. I don't know what the opportunities are going to be like, and I don't know what I'm going to need to consume in terms of waste while I'm out of the house. So I thought I would document it. That was a very long-winded way of saying I'm going to be documenting my waste over the next 2 days, so it'll be like 48 hours ish. So it'll be a full day. Today it's in the morning, it's 10 o'clock now. I'm gonna head to London in a bit. It'll be a full day there, overnight as well, and then all day tomorrow. I'm coming back late tomorrow night. So yeah, let's see what we come across and see what alternatives we can find. So it's Friday morning, and I wanted to just check in and recap. So yesterday, the waste that was created was the 3 train tickets that I needed to print out in order to get on the train. Sometimes they do just digital tickets, but sometimes they make it mandatory for you to print out the tickets, and this time they did, and there were 3 of them. And then where we had lunch was in a market, and it came in a I think like unbleached paper box with wooden fork, and we were looking for a recycling bin to throw them out in. There didn't seem to be any, so I asked the stall where we got the food from where to recycle, and they pointed to a bin that looked just like a general waste bin. So Peter put it in his bag and decided to carry it around until we could find a better way to dispose of it, even if that meant taking it home and recycling it in our regular recycling bin. But then we saw that the bin men who were in those bins were emptying the bins, so Peter went and asked them if it's recycling, and they said that all of the waste in those bins gets taken to recycling. So I don't know if they have a rule around there where all of the food vendors have to have recyclable packaging and that all of the bins were then recyclable, or what. I don't know how they manage that, but we gave them the paper box. Yeah, everywhere else we ate in, other than the tea that was left over that we wanted to take with us. As you saw, we put it in a keep cup to take with us, so we didn't need to use a to-go like single-use cup. And then I went to an event last night which I didn't film because I didn't know if anybody wanted to be on camera, and there wasn't anything to document. They had canapes going around that were just like just bits of food that you take off the plate. There was no napkin or anything to go with it, so it was just finger food, so there wasn't any waste there. And then today we are in this B&B. We have to go in a couple minutes actually, and they have a kettle in this room here and some tea. So I am bringing a tea with me that I've just filled, so I don't have to go out and buy a tea again. No to-go cups, because we're going to take a walk around Hampstead Heath because we're staying really near there. We knew we were going to do that, so we also brought some homemade flapjacks with us in this little glass Tupperware, so that'll be breakfast. And then we're gonna go and find lunch somewhere, and we'll sit in again, so there's not going to be any waste there, hopefully. We'll see. Yeah, so that was kind of a recap of yesterday. I know for you just saw it, but I wanted to like come in and talk about it on camera. Also, I've been regularly filling up my water bottle, so that's been really handy. And what else has there been? Yeah, that's been the waste that we've come across so far, so let's see how today goes. There was one more thing before we head off. The free burger that we got at the station at Victoria when we arrived yesterday, we saw that they had like a sustainable burger, so we went over to check to make sure it was plant-based, to make sure that they weren't lying, and it was the Beyond Meat burger, and they were giving those out for free. So we got one of those each, and they were giving them in this like little boat that was like single-use container to hold it in, but it was obviously like plastic lined as well, so it wouldn't have even been recyclable. So I just asked him to put it in my hand, which I think Peter got on film, so I think you saw that, because it was just like a couple of bites. It was like half a burger really, so it was just a couple of bites, so I really didn't need a container to hold it in, and I was just going to eat it then. So I asked him to put it in my hand. He said no problem, so that was a way to reduce waste as well. Okay, so I'm back home now, and I thought I would just talk through the past 2 days about what happened, about what I learned, about what I succeeded in and what I potentially failed in. So yesterday we ended up going for a walk around Hampstead Heath. I love London for its excuse me, its parks and its woods and its forests. There's so much beautiful nature there, so we decided to take advantage of that while we were there and walk around Hampstead Heath, which is just one of my all-time favorite parts of London. So that was great because it's obviously free. We got a great day out, we got some exercise, some fresh air, and it cost nothing in terms of financial cost and environmental cost. So that was really great. And then afterwards we decided we wanted to go to the Vagina Museum, which you would have seen. Another great thing about London, and I think larger cities in general, is that there are loads of free exhibits. So you can go to museums, galleries, there's the Natural History Museum, the Science Museum, the Victoria and Albert Museum, the Tate Modern. There are just so many places to go that don't cost anything, which is really fantastic. London is a great place to go if you're on a budget and you don't want to be spending too much, because there's just so much to do there all of the time. Also, another thing about not needing to buy a ticket or something is that you don't get the ticket or the like card receipt, so that saves on waste as well. You can just walk right in, enjoy and leave, and you haven't spent money and you haven't printed out paper like I did for the train tickets. So that's another great way to reduce waste as well. So we ended up going to the museum, and I got a card which came in this brown paper, which I can easily reuse and can be recycled. And I just got this postcard from there, which is again just on paper, that I'm going to put on my wall as art. So that was really good. It was only £1. I also went to some charity shops, which I forgot to film, but I did do a little bit of thrifting while I was in the Hampstead area, because they just have some really lovely charity shops there, and I picked up 2 items. Firstly, this just simple, basic, plain white long sleeved top with some buttons down the front. I really like the length of it and the length of the sleeves, extra long, and I did make sure, when I buy clothes in charity shops, I usually check the label, which is inside at the bottom, just to see what it's made out of. I do prefer to get things like cotton, linen, organic materials, things that are not synthetic like polyester. This one was ripped out of it, but it felt like cotton to me, but like slightly off, so maybe it wasn't pure cotton, maybe it was mixed with something. So what I did was I looked at the brand. This one's from Uniqlo, and it says Supima underneath it, and I had never heard of that, but I looked it up and that is cotton, so this is part of their pure cotton range, so I ended up getting it. I also bought this sweet little top, which is also made out of cotton. It's like this little strappy, almost crop top. It's quite long though, in this beautiful rust color. So I got those 2 items, which they were from a thrift shop, so they weren't expensive. Although this one, well, both of them actually are from fast fashion companies. I made sure that they were good materials, and I'm not supporting fast fashion because I'm getting them secondhand, and I'm reusing something that was already bought. So that was good. What else? So I went to an event. I was there for 2 events. I'm not documenting it for the events, but on the Thursday night and the Friday night, I went to 2 separate events. On the Thursday night, I met a lovely couple who actually own restaurant businesses in London, and we ended up talking, and they said that they wanted to give me one of their cookbooks, so I thought I would share that with you here as well. Absolutely beautiful, such a generous gift, because I just met them, but I wanted to share that with you here as well because it's something I took home from the last 2 days, a lovely cookbook, which I will definitely be using. Oh yes, one more thing that I picked up, which came wrapped in newspaper. I wasn't specifically going there. When we went on the Thursday night to get food, we were passing through some market stalls as well, and I picked up these 2 handkerchiefs, which you saw, I think I filmed that, which were 50p each, which I also thought not only can they be used to blow your nose, but I can also take them and use them to kind of keep cutlery clean on when I'm out, and wipe my mouth and wipe my fingers if I need to use it
for that when I'm out rather than using single-use napkins. And then I also got this little thing that was on sale. It was £2. I'll just unwrap it, which was wrapped in newspaper, which I really liked, so that's reused. And for all of this I said no bag, so how you see it now is how I brought it home. It was just loose. I put it in my backpack. I don't need a bag and I don't need a receipt, so there was no extra waste with any of the items that I bought. So this paper will be going into recycling, or I'll reuse it to wrap a present. And then I bought this little ceramic pot, which is secondhand, maybe third, fourth hand. I think it might be vintage. It says on the bottom that it was £8 and it was reduced to £2. So I thought that was lovely to make a body butter or to put some bamboo Q-tips or something in. So that's all the waste collected from those items. This brown paper bag and this newspaper from the bought items. Now, when I went to London, I always bring a tote bag. So I brought a bag just in case I bought some items, which I did, and I ended up wrapping this in just for safe measure because I didn't want it to smash on the way home. But that's always a great thing, so you can say no to plastic bags or even paper bags, anything that's single use. I also brought my keep cup with me, which always comes in handy, and my water bottle, so I didn't have to buy any water. I did, and you would have seen, buy some food at a market which came in paper, which did end up being recycled, but that's not the best case scenario. Now, what I would have done in the future, what I normally do, and I'm confused why I didn't do it this time. I think I'm out of habit because I haven't been going to London that often recently, but it was a good reminder to me, and I thought I'd share this with you, is that next time I would bring something like a lightweight wooden bamboo fork. You can just use cutlery that you already have, can be silver, steel, whatever. I have this wooden fork and I will be traveling with this in the future, as well as my cup and my water bottle. And I'll also be bringing something like this, like a lunchbox. So if I do end up getting food at a market, I can just ask them to put it straight in here rather than in the paper bag. So those are the things that I could bring with me next time to reduce that waste that I did create this trip. So a good reminder, even to me, somebody who's been doing this for quite a number of years, it's good to do these little experiments where you try and purposely, calculate the amount of waste that you make over a certain period of time and during trips, and just to assess so that next time you can move forward and reduce your waste even more and do better next time. It's all about just every once in a while just recouping, reassessing, and doing better next time. And I wanted to be open and honest and authentic with you guys. I don't always create zero waste. I do my very best, and sometimes I make mistakes, like not bringing a lunchbox and a fork with me. We did reuse the fork that we got at the market, so the wooden forks we didn't put in the recycling. We took it with us so that we could use it throughout the trip if we were gonna get food at another market or something. But it's still not ideal. So next time I would just bring my own, come home, wash it, and that would have been waste eradicated. So I think that's everything that I wanted to recap on. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it helped you. And it also just showed that none of us are perfect, but we can all do our best, and it's always a good idea to keep it in mind and reassess after a trip. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you're new here. Hit that bell notification if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.